as we bring you the most hard-hitting stories and unveil the real facts. Welcome to Hard Facts.
I am Maryann Okon, and this is Hard Facts, where we separate truth from fiction. We're passionate about the hard-hitting stories that matter. Get ready to challenge your perception and discover the real world. Let's dive deep into the issues that affect our communities, revealing the untold stories and giving you a voice. No sensationalism, no bias, just raw, unadulterated truth. I am committed to delivering news without compromise. Hard facts as we know them, when we know them, and how they affect you. Every Monday through to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. This will be your most authentic news experience starting now on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
8 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour, officially welcoming you to the most authentic news experience that you're ever going to have on the radio. And it's coming to you right from the stables, of Nigeria Info FM. And we're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. I am Maryann Okon. Welcome to Hard Facts. As usual, we start off with the big weekend because it's Monday and the whole weekend was pregnant with all kinds of stories. But most importantly, what breaks my heart is that we lost our gallant soldiers while, they were fighting against terrorism. And my heart breaks because of that. But then there's several other stories that would catch your attention. Like, how's the power situation in your area? Is it getting better? Because, we might be talking about reforms in the power sector. But before then, the NLC is speaking on this issue of power sector. Don't forget that the NLC president, Ajero himself, that's the sector that he works in. And he seemed to be, very versed, he seemed to be very interested. That's the word I'm looking for. In the things that are happening in that sector, and he challenged the government of the day, especially the minister, as to their sincerity, the level of the sincerity in that sector, and if they really are serious about turning around things. Also, Feba Balola versus Dele Farotimi's case is also top in the stories for today, all through the weekend into today. And if you've been listening to the news on our bulletins, you'd know, obviously, that that's also a big story with the Oni visiting him and he finally saying, okay, thank you for begging me. Yes, okay, now we can all, move on and let, bygones be bygones. And several other issues coming in. So let's start the conversation. Don't forget, Obasa also is a big headline. I heard Kofi talk about it from a political perspective. But this afternoon on the Big Three, we're going to have a lawyer join us. And he's going to give us a somewhat of a legal perspective to this conversation. Because he made a case about the Constitution, and I'll play you that video that he had a press conference of sorts in his house talking about the fact that there's some sort of difference between a removal and impeachment. So we're going to talk about that. But first things first, let's go straight into the business of the day, which is the Big Three stories. It's the big weekend, actually, but this is how we like to start the show.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big Three Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
All right, we're back. It's still the Big Three on Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I did tell you that we will be having a lawyer join us to speak on the legal perspective of some of the claims that was made by the ousted Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, even though he's telling us that he still remains Speaker. But then the Lagos State House of Assembly put out a statement saying that, look, you can't cause confusion here. You're out. But take a listen to Channels Television.
You must follow the due. We have rules, we have constitution. When you want to remove, you must do what? Follow it. And the same, that man that said Obasa took part in the removal of Honorable Abdulwahid Pelumi, Honorable Funmi Tejuosho, and those people that were suspended. And I've said it, let me repeat it. Honorable Pelumi, right? Honorable Pelumi is my brother, is my friend. I fondly call him Boda Wahidi till tomorrow. When he was removed, he was on the floor of the house. Probably he was presiding. When Tejuosho was removed, she was in the house. And those who were suspended, they were around. And there was no involvement of police. And the house, the chamber was not broken into. And fake mace was not brought to the house. I'm not afraid of being removed. I'm not disturbed, but let them follow the true procedure. Having ambition to become a governor is not a sin, is it? However, I've said it on the floor of the house when the budget was presented that I had no thoughts of governorship. But that does not mean what? That I'm not qualified or I lack experience.
Okay, that does not mean... Well, that's Mudashiru Obasa, ousted Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Joining me via Zoom this afternoon from the University of Lagos is Dr. Deji Awobiyide. Thank you so much, Deji, for joining us, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Maryann. Thank you for having me.
Great. Mudashiru Obasa kept emphasizing on the fact that due process was not followed. He talked about he kept saying the constitution must be followed. What exactly is he talking about? Because I'm sure, I mean, I've read the constitution when it comes to this particular aspect, but you're the lawyer here. What does the law say about the removal of, for example, a speaker? Or because he's making a case between a removal and an impeachment. He's saying he wasn't impeached. He was removed. And even at that, they didn't follow due process. Explain to the average Nigerian what Mudashiru Obasa is trying to talk about here.
All right. So in clear terms, I think the problem begins from understanding the distinction between impeachment and removal. Now, impeachment usually is, under the Constitution, applicable to members of the executive. So you have the governor, the deputy governor, then you can talk about impeachment. And also, as it relates to the speaker, what the law provides for is removal. Okay, because the speaker is first and foremost, is called primus inter pares, which means is first among equals. Everybody in the house is equal, but the speaker is first among the equals. So the power to become first among equals is bestowed on him by his colleagues. So his colleagues in the house that have bestowed that power upon him and have elected him as their leader, as their speaker. So in clear terms, in non-ambiguous terms, the Constitution says it can be removed from that position by 2/3 of the members of the House. 2/3 or so. So if you have 40 members in the House, 2/3 gives you about 26, 27. Can remove him. Now, you saw the video of his removal. The plenary was held and it was removed. You had an overwhelming number of people present. And from what I gather, I think you had 35 or 37 people who were present, removing him from that position as speaker. So when he goes on and says you must follow due process, the only due process that the law, which in this case is the Constitution, requires is compliance with the provisions of Section 92, sub 2C, which says that 2/3 of the members of the House can remove him. Now, you would have had a different case if you had lesser number removing him from that position. For instance, in some states in Nigeria, you've had issues where you have 3 members in the House, you have 10, you have 11. So that's a genuine case of a division where you have not met the constitutional requirements. But in Obasan's case, the constitutional requirement has been adequately met. And for that reason, for all intents and purposes, as far as the law is concerned, it remains the ousted Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
But when he does say that he remains the Speaker of the House of Assembly, and that he also makes a point that when other people were removed, the House was not broken into. They were all present on the floor of the House of Assembly when their removal took place, and that the mace that was used was not the real mace, that they brought a fake mace. Could this also be tying to what he means as due process?
Well, that's not correct, because that position that is whipped up is unsustainable, having regard to the provision of the Constitution. What the Constitution requires is that the provisions therein are supreme to every other provision, every other law. As a matter of fact, every other law in Nigeria, including the House rules that he alluded to in his interview, they all derive their legitimacy from the Constitution. By virtue of Section 1, Section 3 of the Constitution is supreme. What the Constitution requires is that you can be removed by 2/3. It doesn't say that you must be physically present, that you must be on the floor of the House to be removed. It's not there. And so when he was giving his interview, I was looking forward to him quoting either the Constitution or a provision that says that the Speaker, to be validly removed, must be present, must be sitting, and be at plenary before he is removed. That's not what the law says. What the law requires is that to remove you 2/3. Once you have 2/3, that's done. It's done and dusted. As a matter of fact, the Speaker that has been elected now, Honorable Lasbat Miranda, who is the current Speaker, can be removed tomorrow by the same 2/3. So there is no limit to how many times you can be removed. If you have a provision there that says if your members decide that they want to remove you, once you have the numbers, then you remove. So you'll see that a lot of our political actors, they always ensure that you don't have that number. If they want to keep the House under their wraps, they ensure that they have the number that is required to keep a Speaker in line and keep him in check. So as far as Constitution is concerned, Obasa was validly removed.
So he has no case going forward, because he sounded like a man who was going to put up a fight of sorts, even though there are those who are also saying he has no, literally bite. Well, he does have a bark, but maybe not have a bite.
Well, the courts are there for a reason. The issue of our courts under the Constitution is to interpret the law. So I would reckon that Obasa would go to the courts and ask the court to interpret whether by virtue of that provision of the Constitution, he needs to be physically present before he can be removed. That's a question that they can submit to the court for determination, and the court will determine that based on the provision of the Constitution. So that's the work of the courts to determine whether or not you can read into that provision the requirement to be physically present. It's not in any law, but if that is his case, he's a litigant, he can have a grievance, he can proceed to ask the courts to interpret whether that should be a requirement. But from what we have in the letter of the Constitution, the spirit of it, once your colleagues say they don't want you anymore, you are gone.
I know you're not a politician, but I'm just going to put you on the spot quickly before I let you go. There are those who are saying that he had to make this press release. He had to somewhat speak up, so he didn't look like I don't know the right word to use, but they made sure that he spoke up. So it doesn't paint a picture that one person is running the whole state. But what do you even make now that he said something? What edge does he give him? And I also hear that there are lots of people in Agege that are in support of him, and that there is that likelihood that if the APC doesn't watch it, he might take a huge chunk of their members to another party. Do you think? Let's use your political mind now. Do you think that he has the capability to do so?
Well, one thing about politicians, is that they love to have praise singers around them. And praise singers, usually lead to their downfall. Because in Obasan's case, I'm sure that a lot of people have told him, we are with you, we support you, you have been unfairly treated. maybe because you expressed your intentions that you're capable to become governor after you have been removed. Those are sentimental political reasons that have been advanced. However, you must also remember that power is transient. So Obasa is there today. He may not be there tomorrow in terms of the next election, right? So he's still a member of the House. Don't forget that. He represents the people of his constituency. If they have a grievance against the establishment, the governor, the fellow colleagues at the House of Assembly, they are within their rights to protest. And of course, you saw the crowd, but in Nigeria, you can have a crowd for less than how much. So it's not really about the crowd, but there is constituents and they feel aggrieved. Yes, they've expressed their views, but the law remains the law. So I'm not sure, even if you've had even more powerful politicians leave a party and the party did not come, particularly a party that's in power, like the APC is in power, and in total control of the political stakes and structure in Nigeria. So I think that along the line, they will settle it. That's my political mind you're getting now. They would offer him something, maybe minister or something, or say finish your tenure, and then you become
minister.
Maybe afterwards, after his 4 years. So don't worry, just wait for 2 more years. Next election will make you minister. You never can tell with politicians.
Okay, but finally, I have just 1 more minute. There are those who say that that power, that hegemony that the APC has over Lagos needs to break, and maybe it might start with Modashiru, and maybe several others who are looking for a savior or a leader of sorts might just follow suit, trying to break that hegemony from within the party.
When it comes to the APC in Lagos, from the AD to the AC to the APC, the ACN, and now they've been metamorphosed into the current APC, you would see that I think this is perhaps the only state in Nigeria that has been ruled throughout by one party. I may be wrong. Maybe there are a few other states in the north, but it's a state that has been ruled consistently by AD, APC. So the president has a strong hold in Lagos. But of course, you recall that the last election, they did lose Lagos State to the Labour Party. So it's not as if they have such a strong hold in the way you depict it. But going forward, next election, I think every election is different. And I think that this next election, may follow a similar pattern or may be different. So we never know, politicians.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Deji Awobiide is of the Faculty of Law at the University of Lagos, joining us live via Zoom. Deji, thank you so much for speaking with us and helping us to understand what has happened over the weekend. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. Well, Lagos, when we come back from this quick break, I will be reading out the big stories and other stories other than Obasa's story. And then, of course, you have an opportunity to chime in and tell us what your thoughts are. Stay with us. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Maryann Okon.
More talk, news and sports after this. Consistent taste for cooking mouth-watering soups, stews, and jollof. Choose wisely. Choose Gold. Terra Gold Seasoning Cube.
1 cube. Endless possibilities. Terra Gold.
Hey, now what for this country? Everything just cash, even cash.
KC, I don't define you for shops this morning. Why you did this kind of queue?
Jojo, now cash I want collect since morning.
Cash? Why?
I know one waiting happen for 1672 happen again. Today, I must collect correct naira note for hand.
KC, cash day everywhere for bank, ATM, POS agent, and if you want run and cashlessly, you fit use mobile app, internet banking, ATM, POS, USSD, QR code, and other options them.
Dudu, you sure?
I beg, make we dey go. Your customers dey shop, they wait for you. See, the cash where you define for Sokoto, is there for your Sokoto. You understand? Country people, money na money. Spend them, collect them, no hold them, no panic. Cash day everywhere. This message now from Bankers Committee.
This is Ireti Bakari Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook, we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous new year. Bye-bye, all the best.
Mom's love is pure. Mom's special jollof, it's a smile on your face. Mom's love is fine, cheers you up. Mom tastes too, nourishes the family. Golden Terra oil, tasty. Golden Terra oil, nourishing. Golden Terra oil, Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra Oil helps mom pour her love in the tasty, nourishing meals she cooks for her family. Golden Terra Oil, pour pure love.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts, whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's still the big weekend, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome to Hard Facts. We're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Join the conversation on X, where Nigeria Info FM 99.3. We'd like to hear from you. You can join the conversation. If you're listening to us from outside of the country, please join us. We're on Skype at Nigeria Info FM. Post your comments on WhatsApp. It's 0809597585. Let me go into the big weekend stories quickly. This one concerns all of us. Yeah, well, Lagos is mulling a total ban on Okadas as they return to the highways. They don't want to see them at all. But then there are those who are saying, but Okadas help us to get to some places that cars may not be able to go to. And you know, Lagos roads are bad. What do you think? Should there be a total ban on Okadas, especially some of them that are trying to return to the highways, huh? Afe Babalola is back in the news. Of course, he's bowing to pressure and has agreed to withdraw his suit against Dele Farotimi. Do you think he's trying to save face? Of course, because Obasanjo has gone to beg him. Several people have begged him. Peter Obi was there. Several people have written to him. Obas of all natures. We even had one here in the studio, you know, advocating that this was just, you know, he was just picking on Dele Farotimi, etc., etc. Do you think he's trying to save face, or hey, he's just saying, I'm tired, let's just let this thing go, bygones be bygones? Maybe they only really somewhat appeal to his soft side, if there be any. And of course, Ajero here is slamming power policies and has urged that we start locally manufacturing cables and meters. And this is a story from the Punch newspaper. He said that... in fact, let me read what the Punch newspaper says. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has strongly criticized Nigeria's private power sector, and its policies, citing inefficiency and neglect of local content development as key issues. Ajaero expressed his concerns during an interview on Channel's television Politics Today program, which aired last week. Now, he highlighted the inadequacy of the current 5,000 megawatt power generated target for a country with over 200 million people. In fact, he said, how can you have 200 million people and someone is giving us 5,000 megawatts? Nigeria remains one of the countries suffering from power poverty. We need to sit down and work. And might I remind you, Ajaero also works in the power sector. Here's what he had to say. This video obviously is courtesy of Channels Television. And he had this conversation last week, Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, on Channels Television. Take a listen.
It is service, reflective tariffs. The service you are giving to me is what I will pay for. And to that extent, you know, if you don't give me meter, if I'm not metered, you can't just wake up one day and say I have to pay 20,000, I have to pay 30,000. It's not done. if you don't give me supply, there's a consequence to it. Now, the ministry is talking of migrating from band A to band B. That's the highest level of 419 one can think of. Who is in band A and who is in band B? Is it based on geographical area that you have band A or band B? Or is it based on the dictates of the provider that say, oh, you are in band A, oh, you are in band B, and some days you will not have supply. And they give you the impression that band A's will get certain number of hours, maybe 18 hours, whatever, and they don't get. And then you pay attention to probably geographical areas where you migrated them to band A. Therefore, the CC is no longer a social service. Some communities are still off. They are not getting anything. And you don't even know the band where they belong to. And if you check, the calculation, what's the band A, what is band B? In countries of the world that are targeting 24/7 power supply, why would somebody be talking of band A, band B? How will it happen? So that idea is concocted, to make money unnecessarily and to say people are migrated. You'll be receiving, you'll be paying, and you are getting 6 hours, 7 hours, or 20 hours a day. All of a sudden, they say you're on band A. What are the conditions to be on band A? What are the conditions to be on band B? Why will you discriminate? Why will you give me band B and give somebody band A? These are issues. Has the minister concerned himself with the electricity assistance funds to the rural communities to bridge the gap between the urban and rural, power supply up to this moment? Is that not part of their job? It is not part of their job to explore the options that are in existence in renewable energy sources in this country. These are the provisions for the act for them. How many of them are working? How many solar plants do we have in the country? What is the are we still on fossil fuel with all the dangers, on emission? How many new power plants is being constructed, either solar or whatever, in the countries, in some countries? So what is it that we are doing? Those are challenges we are thinking of to make sure that at least Nigeria gets a stable power supply.
So that's the NLC president there, Joe Ajaero, making a case for power reforms in Nigeria. And he seems to be laying the blame at the feet of the presidency and, of course, the Honourable Minister. What are your thoughts, Lagos? 0201 277 0993. That's the number for you to call if you're male. And if you're female, you can call 0201 465 7190. That's 0201 465 7190. On WhatsApp, it's 080959 75805. You can join us via Skype. If you're listening from outside of the country, we are Nigeria Info FM. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point and turn off the volume of your radio. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanoje in Ikoton.
Go ahead, Peter.
My take is on Afe Babalola versus Dele Farotimi.
Okay.
Now that Afe Babalola has written to people, he has listened to many people now, and there's a local parliament that says somebody will be able to press the remove button. Probably it is the only officer that has been able to press the remove button, and he has agreed. Because what I'm saying that is that Obasanjo and Co, they have appealed to him before, he did not succumb, but now he has succumbed. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that Telefaro Timitu should also apologize. They say...
well, what should he be apologizing for? What should he be apologizing for?
I will tell you why he should be apologized. When he was detained in Ekiti, people were also begging Afe Babalola and telling him Telefaro to apologize. He said no, that he will only apologize if Afe Babalola should discontinue with the case, if he should withdraw that case. Now that he has withdrawn the case, okay. I think it is right for him to apologize.
All right, Peter. Thank you very much for calling. Respect, he says, is reciprocal. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Rapush is my name. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, power sector, as far as I'm concerned, the power has not improved. They have not improved at all. What they are doing is stealing by tricks. Let them get Nigerians prepared meter because you cannot come and end of the month collect, estimated billing from what the services you didn't provide. It's unfair.
Okay.
Then for the other guy, the other speaker, former speaker, let them settle their differences.
Okay.
Stop disturbing Lagosians. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Rapper, for calling. Pastor Ladipo is calling us from Marile Gomo. Hello.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
Maryann.
Pastor Ladipo. Go ahead.
It's Pastor Ladipo. Maryann, for Afe Babalola, I want to say the man has tried for listening to voice of reasoning. That is one. For me now, the information is out there that the judiciary, something is not right with the judiciary. So, for moving forward, at least what the man has spoken about should be looked into. That is that. For the Lagos State former speaker, he should go and relax now. He understands the way their party operates, especially in Lagos. Once you are stepping your bound, they cut it to size. So they've cut him to size. After all, he was not voted to be a speaker. And it's a real privilege that you're a speaker for 10 years. Which record you won't break again? Let the man relax.
There's always a record to break.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. All right, we're still taking your thoughts on the big weekend, Lagos. We're looking at the biggest stories for the week. Lagos malls on total ban on Okada as they return to the highways. Should Okada be banned totally? How you go take go reach that your Koro house for Aja? Obasa Assembly tightens security as police promise peaceful plenary today. And of course, you listen to the lawyer and his analysis. And of course, you also listen to Obasa when he was speaking about following due process. Afe Babalola bows to pressure and has agreed to withdraw suit against Dele Farotimi. And NLC President Joe Ajero slams power policies and urges local manufacturing of cables and meters. Share your thoughts with us on Skype. If you're listening to us from outside of the country, we're Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. We're live at Nigeria Info FM on Facebook. We're Nigeria Info FM 99.3. Same thing on X. We're Nigeria Info 99.3. Use the hashtag hard facts. Emeka is calling us from Satellite Town. Hello, Emeka.
Wow, you try you. Maryann Okon.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Obasa, like I said in the morning, that is what he's doing is just the bitter rantings of a jilted lover. If he just relax, the political establishment in Lagos still want him, or they still have use for him. That's the only time he'll remain relevant. If they're done with him, his case is done and dusted. He should let Lagos breathe. And as for the case of Afe Babalola, yes, that's a good one. He has listened to the voice of reason. It's also a good one for the judiciary because that would have been a very, very dirty battle. You know, even if he wins the battle, it would have been a Pyrrhic victory. The war, he may not win. At this point, I think let the voice of reason prevail and let the image or what is remaining of the image of the judiciary be saved. And also his reputation also as a lady in silk.
All right.
That's my position.
Thank you very much, Emeka, for calling. Azu is calling us on Skype. Hello, Azu. Where are you calling us from?
Maryann, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good night from here. Jakarta, Indonesia. Frank as well.
All right, go ahead.
Which one is aha?
Hey, God, do. Azu, did you see me in your dreams today?
Yes, multiple times. I greet you, Maryann.
No problem. Go ahead, please.
So I'll ask you, you said that they're stopping or the banning of the use of the motorcycles.
Well, they're thinking about it. They want to outrightly ban them.
Yes, and are they giving us any reason why it's happening? Why they're making such decisions?
Well, you know that originally they were banned from being on the express, but we're seeing them gradually come back to the express, and then maybe the government is saying we're bringing down the hammer on this one. But are we okay with the idea? That's the question.
My question is, why is government doing this? They should tell us, at least explain, okay, this is why we are doing this. What is the excuse? What is the reason? Or you can't just wake up one morning and just say, oh, today we don't want tricycles. And we'll just say, okay, why are you doing this?
Well, they're thinking about it. They say government keeps taking them off the road and then you keep seeing new ones come back on the road. So really, they're supposed to be operating in the streets and not on the express.
let's not stress ourselves. Let me not stress you here. Most likely, all you hear is, for security reasons, that they pose as insecurity, for maybe accidents and the whole stuff. But the question I ask is, the same motorbikes are the same ones I see in Jakarta here. In fact, bike is a major form of transportation over here. So how come the ones in Jakarta are not a security
But
issue?
are they not properly regulated in Jakarta?
Yeah, well,
do they not adhere to the rules and regulations of operating in Jakarta?
That leads me to my point. It's the people. It's not the bike. It's not the roads. It's not the motorists. It's the people that are adhering. And it's the Nigerian people or the Lagosians that are not adhering. For how long they go tell us simple thing? Just very simple. It's the same road here. The bikes are not the problem. It's the people that have refused to behave like simple human beings. Okay. Common sense.
All right.
It's the same bike here.
All right, Azu.
And that's your third point about electricity. Maryann, with the way this
10 seconds.
Okay, let's tell ourselves the truth. Next 30 years, we will see the shout up Nipper. Have a nice
All right. Thank you, Azu, for calling. Interesting. Up Nipper. Back to the phone line, still taking your thoughts and comments. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Lady, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Quick one, I hear someone first. Lagos State APC cannot work because our vote never count. APC member, how many are there in Lagos? If our vote truly count, they can change the government, they can change the party. Then for Afe Babalola and the other guys, when Obi go and intervene, what do people call? Obi is tolerating corruption. So this set of Obas are meeting that they agree with them to withdraw the case. What do you call that? They are romancing corruption, right? And for Ajero, like you said, he was in the system. I remember when Ayuba Wamba was the LNP president. He was dining with Buhari and co, fighting Ayuba. If they do the right thing about our, what do you call that thing we have? What is the percentage of power we should have now? If they do the right thing, then we won't be where we are today. So Ajero, I don't know why people have time to interview that guy. He didn't always. I feel pain whenever I hear that guy talks. You were there. What did you do? You were fighting Ayuba Wamba. You were dining.
Thank you, Chris, for calling.
Thank
I do
you.
appreciate it. Kenny's calling us from Lagos. Hello, Kenny.
Yes.
Hi.
I should go ahead.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. Afe Babalola and by extension the Nigerian judiciary, as well as Adelabo. Listen to me, I'm speaking to you as a friend. You all need to focus, pay attention, concentrate, and do your best work at all times. Nigeria is better than this, and you all want to always look good. With reference to the general population and the people in the political class, do likewise, because the optics does not look good. Nigerians in diaspora excel, which means that the problem is not Nigerians. The problem is the people in the political class and those that are in the powers that be, the powers of authority or corridors of authority. You all need to get your acts together because the optics for you globally is not looking good.
Okay.
And as a friend, I'm hoping that you all will step up and do the right thing. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Kenny, for calling. We do appreciate it. I'll take a few more calls and then I'll go to WhatsApp to read some of your messages and on Facebook Live. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Mayor. This is Godwin from Otta.
Hello, Godwin. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, as per the Lagos State former House of Speaker, it baffles me when a whole speaker doesn't know what it will take to impeach him. You are saying due process.
So did you listen to my conversation today? Sorry, Godwin. Godwin, hold on. I'm hoping that when you listen to this show, you get informed and educated at the same time. We just had a lawyer who told us that a speaker cannot be impeached; he can be removed. Impeachments are for governors and presidents.
Yeah, it's talk about 2/3. There is only 2/3 that can remove him. Hello,
I'm listening.
So what I'm trying to say is that he mentioned 2/3 is 2/3 can remove him, and he also said it doesn't necessarily mean that it should be present, either present or no present, that it still can be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Now the third one that he also forgot to tell you, you don't need what will I say? As in the allegation of money, as in corruption, to remove him. If the member lost confidence on him, they can remove him.
Okay.
So him talking about due process, I don't know the due process that he's talking about. As a lawyer, I think it should just allow Lagos State to have peace.
All right. Thank you very much for calling.
PDP. I
Thank you for calling. Your time is fast spent.
spent.
Thank you very much for calling. Because of time, I have to let you go. Mrs. Zaboli is calling us. Hello.
Hi, Maryann.
Yes, Mrs. Zaboli. Good.
The only thing, if we listen to conversations, we'll be able to know the angle to apply our reasoning from. So on Obasa's case, well, APC, they go do themselves, so there'll be a weapon fashioned against themselves. There's no gain saying that. And on what's the other one now? This Okada Ishmael. See, when they say stop, they will still be the one to say they will remove their eyes. Lagosians or Nigerians generally, we have started, we don't have finishing. May I leave them? It's their war. Nobody will die in it. It is well with you, Jerry.
Thank you for calling, Mrs. Aboli. All right, let me go to WhatsApp quickly and read some of the messages that are coming in. Someone here says, back to Kalu politicians. Anyone or Obasa himself surprised about this impeachment is just a learner of Nigerian politics. It's just deceit, backbiting and betrayal from a set of self-serving group of people who call themselves politicians. It's a merry-go-round issue. Obasa and his gang members know the selfishness and tricks that in that their self-serving gambling game. Let us not waste our time talking about Obasa rantings and discuss more important issues, Jerry. They know their so-called loyalty and respect is a boy and a godfather mentality and nothing else. And the interest of the public is just secondary. It's just a show of power, aggrandizement, and nothing more. Steve from Ijaniki. This one says, Maryann, be careful, I can remove you from my office without being physically present. I beg, I know if you shout. Sentiments have no place in law. Obasa, bye-bye. Prince sent us that one. This one says, Obasa, if you were part of the assembly that planned against Ambode, fine. This is a return match. Oboyi Todo from Lekki Phase 1. Okay, now. Chimo from Surulere here says, Mudashiru Obasa should know that nothing in this world is permanent. He has been a speaker for many years. Even if he retires from politics, it is expected. The withdrawal of the case by Chief Afe Babalola leaves us in doubt over what the truth of the matter really is. Someone's thinking like me, yeah? Ayo here says, Afe Babalola is trying to save face. What will now happen to the book? Will it be withdrawn? He says, Discos know they are stealing from Nigerians. How can a whole nation be sharing 5,000 megawatts? It is pure deceit. And Obasa, when he was rejoicing over the removal of Ambode, he forgot of the law of karma. That's his own palaver. He belongs to the APC. Okay. Sky from Ikorodu here says, Bane is injustice to us in Ogijo, a rural area in Shagamu, where most residents are casual workers, and rent is around 3K and for a room, and our light is over 40K monthly. Hey, how does 3K pay for? Yeah. This one says, good afternoon, Maryann. Why are we like this in this country? People should stop asking Dele to apologize. Apologize for what? Let the court decide that. Phone shop banjo. This one says, one radio station is interfering with your station. Really? Okay, Jay. Okay. I'm hoping that our tech guys can hear this. Our engineers. We hear that some other station is crossing our station. We're going to try and fix that. Okay. Thank you for letting us know anyway. We like this kind of feedback, so we know what you're hearing out there. Ferry from Dallas here says, the fact remains that all legislators know that they are culpable of financial misappropriation. I'm sure you mean all the legislators. And when there is a breach in loyalty to their common agenda, then only a strong reason to impeach or remove is financial. The only strong reason, I'm sure you mean, to impeach or remove is financial misappropriation, which they know of every. Okay, I'm sure you mean they all know that they're guilty. Femi, thank you very much for your message. Uche from Songo here says, how can you call it face saving? The old man just respected the traditional rulers and listened to their plea. Okay. This one says, okay. Chief Afeba Balola's withdrawal from the case is good, but the book by Dele Farotimi should not be stopped from printing. Let generations yet unborn read about the corruption in our judiciary. Bob Kentimi from Agbado sent us this message. This one says 80% of the Okada riders on the restricted areas are uniformed men. Example, police, soldiers, among others. As for Ajero, he lost his relevance a long time ago. What he said is right, but he has lost the power to pressure the government of the day. Saeed from Ikoyi sent us this one. I can take one quick call via Skype. Kunle Eniton is calling us. Hello, Kunle. Where are you calling us from?
Hi, Maryann. My name is Kunle Eniton. I'm calling from the UK.
All right, Kunle, go ahead, please.
Okay, my concern is, my contribution is on the Okada riders.
Mm-hmm.
And the concern I have is this. When it is time for election, the Okada riders becomes very good friends of the politician. They know how to use them. They do all their dirty work. And at that time, they are quick to bring out Okada tricycle as support for people, poverty alleviation. They distribute all these Okadas to them. But when they get in power, they know how to ban them from the road. Now, if you have Okada, the first thing you need to do is look at the population. How does it affect the population? How many people benefit from Okada riders on the road? Then if there are more people that benefit from it, then look at how to cope the issues you have with Okada riders.
Okay.
Not ban them totally.
All right.
That is just a thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Kunle, for calling. I have to let you go because of time, but I appreciate your thoughts. Okay. I have just 1 minute and a few seconds. I want to take one last call and then we'll wrap things up here. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
I'm B. Akimbo from Iba.
Yes. You have 60 seconds, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, there are cases you may not like the taste of a messenger, but if he has a very good message, it's good to key into it. I think Ajero has spoken well. This idea of band A, band B, or whatever is nothing but fraud in capital letters. Way back 2012, I read in the Nigerian national paper that South Africa was generating 50,000 megawatts then. Egypt about the same thing. What is wrong with Nigeria upon all the billions in dollars that we have spent in that subsector? I think Nigerians should stand up against this fraudulent leaders that we have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kimbo, for being on time. Well, Lagos, we've got to go for a break at the bottom of the hour. Don't forget, on the other side of the clock, it's time for Checkpoint. Let's talk road safety, shall we?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
This is Ireti Bakari Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding Borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook, we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous new year. Bye-bye. All the best.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined, boy. You have just won yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira.
My name is Well Done.
Okay, well done. We want to tell you, well done. You won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big. From 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347*880*3#. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347*880*3#. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Go for gold, Terra Gold Cube, the amazing seasoning cube. So when you're cooking your delicious meals, don't compromise. Go for gold.
Rich, consistent taste for cooking mouth-watering soups, stews, and jollof. Choose wisely. Choose Gold. Terra Gold Seasoning Cube.
One cube. Endless possibilities. Terra Gold.
This is Ireti Bakari Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding Borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook, we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous new year. Bye-bye, all the best.
.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Bridging the gap between people and those in a
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.